Hello everyone, welcome back to knowledge sharing series using Raspberry Pi, nodered and IoT. In this session, we are going to discuss about the insert query on MySQL with more features on nodered. Before we proceed, here is an example of the table which we are going to use throughout our video. So kindly create a table with such kind of description if you are going to use the same structure what we are using in this video. Make sure the first column, that is the serial number, is the primary key in this table. Friends, let us take the MySQL node first to start working with the MySQL and set up the database. As you know very well how to set up the database, though we have already set up. Again I am showing you the property window where you can set the values and the username password for the database. Though it is already done, let us deploy it, and we are getting the message called the connect. So that indicates that the database is properly connected with the proper properties and username and password. Now in this video we are going to discuss about the function. So let us take the function node. In function node, if you check, there is a single window where we can specify the procedure, but by default it is showing that it is returning the message. It is nothing but a kind of variable of this node read. That message is one of the particular parameter which contains lot of information. So we'll go into it, connect the function with the database, take the inject node. Again, in inject node we are not going to do anything, it is just a kind of trigger. So let me give a name trigger just to initiate or to start the particular function. Let me connect with the function, and the debug node, it is again for the particular messages. Let me deploy it so that we can identify the error or any message problem. Now let's go into the particular function node and type such message. Let me try to analyze and let me try to explain each and everything. The very first thing here is the message.topic. Again reminding you that whatever SQL query we are going to fire for on my database, that will go through message.topic. So here I am writing the insert into, I am inserting the value into the database. So insert into new is my table name, and the values. Now instead of specifying the values, here I have specified the question mark. There is a particular pattern which we have to follow. So this is the pattern which I have mentioned here. And after that I have mentioned that message.payload is equal to into bracket the values of each column. So what happened, nodered will automatically match the value, first value with the first question mark, second value with the second, and the third with the third question mark. And at the time when it returns the message, the value will be the message.topic with the proper information and the proper value. Now let's click on the done. Let's deploy it and let me trigger it so that we can see the result. Yes friend, it is showing that the example DB database is giving an OK message. That means the query is successfully inserted. Now if you execute the select query on the database using your command line, then you can see that the entry has been already done, and that is from the nodered. Now let's consider another scenario to explore more on the functions. So for that, again take the function node, connect it with the particular database. Another one is the inject node, connect it with the function node which work as an input node for the function. Now before we modify anything in the particular function, let's modify this inject node. In this inject node, what we are doing is, instead of timestamp, I am changing it to the number, and I am specifying the particular number. Remember friends, I am modifying the inject node and I am setting the value in the inject node payload. So this will be the input for this particular function, right? Here I am writing a code which will take the value from this particular message.payload. if you can see the particular query, there is only difference where I have specified the message.payload. Rest of the values are as it is. Still, let me change the value here so that it is easy to understand at the time when we retrieve the value. Now remember, this message.payload value will come from the inject node, whatever we have set. And remember, if I replace this location with the second column, then the value will go to the second column. But as we have set the value as an integer number, so it must come into the first column of my table. That's why I have written over here. I hope it is quite clear. Let's execute it. I hope there is no error from this. Deploy it and click on this particular 11 number node. I have not given any name to this particular. As soon as I inject it, it is showing me the value is successfully inserted. From here also you can see that what was the value which was inserted into the database. That is the 11 that comes from this particular inject node. Again, execute the select query on the database using the command line from the Raspberry Pi. So you can see the entry is already there. That is again from the nodered flow, whatever you have created. Now let's modify some sort of value inside the function node and change the position of this message.payload. Now instead of the first column, right now it is in the first column of my table, I am changing it for the second column. So for that, first I am giving a number that will be the serial number of my table. The second one will be the message.payload, and the third will be the another value. Right? I hope it is quite clear. Let's say the last one will be the ZZZ. Now let's understand this first. This will be the value which are coming from my inject node, and the value what we have set in the inject node is nothing but an integer value. So friends, let's go there and modify that so that it will generate some sort of string. So I have set the string and I am setting the value called AB. Right? I hope it is clear. Whatever value I have set in my inject node is nothing but a string. The value will be going into my function node. It will replace the second value in the table or the column, and then it is executed on my database. I hope it is quite clear. Let's deploy it. Let's execute it. And here you can see the value is successfully inserted and the query is also shown here. That is 15 AB and ZZZ. Again, try to execute the select query on database and you can see the entry of the particular value inside the table. I hope you learn about the insert query with more functionality and feature in this video. Kindly subscribe the channel to get the regular updates on knowledge sharing series. Thank you.